Well, listen, it's been like 9 months since we had a chance to see you fight. So give me an idea what took so long to get you back in action.
You know, it's definitely not a decision of mine. I tried my best to jump on the opportunities that are presented to me. Unfortunately, it's been a lot of short notice stuff, and I'm kind of to the point in my life and career where I don't think that I'm a short notice fighter. So I told these guys, give me 6 weeks and anybody in the world can get it. So they gave me 6 weeks for Louis Smolka, so here we are. But over the last 8 months, I've been training hard and working, and I was in Henry Cejudo's camp, and I train every day. This is my life, so.
I was going to ask you where exactly you have been training, because looking at social media, it looks like you kind of traveled around a little bit, right? So where all have you been training?
My father used to say that I was a vagabond, and he was very right. Yeah, I like to get around and kind of drift with the wind, and I've always kept an open mind and tried to, get around and get to different places to round out my skill set. So yeah, it's just part of the journey, and I love it.
Very cool. This attitude about realizing, hey, listen, I'm not going to take short notice fights. How tough is that to stick to your guns, right? I mean, it's a smart choice, I think, but you start talking about paychecks and furthering the career. I mean, how difficult is it to stay true to that?
It's tough, but it's something that I plan on sticking with. They offer me the opportunities because they know that they need, they know that I'm willing to fight, and I'm kind of in contact with them constantly. So I think they just do that to kind of appease me, but they know me too at this point. Like me and Mick Maynard, we have a good relationship, and we've known each other for a long time, and he'll call me and he knows what I'm going to say when he calls me, but he's doing it just because it's kind of like I gotta throw this guy a bone every once in a while, and I understand. I'm not upset about it. This is a hierarchy, right? And I'm trying to make my way up, but this isn't a game of. It's not a sprint, I don't have to get there as fast as possible. I've been in the UFC now for a couple of years. This will be my 5th fight in the UFC, but I don't have to, I'm not in a hurry, I'm trying to get where I'm trying to get, and it doesn't matter to me how long it takes. I've got a great family and supporting cast and people who love me and care about me, and I'm teaching and I'm doing my thing, and this sport, I'll be a part of it for forever. I'll be training, I'll be teaching, I'll be doing something. So I'm in no hurry. I'm just trying to get what's mine, and I'll settle for nothing less.
It's interesting because as you were a guy that had a lot of attention coming in, right? So was it hard also to take that approach? I mean, because it seems like I think people wanted to fast track you. You know what I mean?
I think we saw what happened. I fell from I took a quick fall. I stumbled out of the blocks. It's no secret, and I was struggling with. Believing in myself. I was going out there and reaching, and my coach, Kieran, told me before my first UFC win, before I beat Marco Beltran, and it was big, he said, Matt, you're good enough, man. Everybody knows you're good enough. You're the only person who doesn't think you're good enough. And that's why you're out there reaching. That's why you're out there trying to make things happen that aren't there. Just go out there, fight, be you. You got here because you're you. So just go do it. And that's where I am.
Very cool. That's great advice. Uncertainty over flyweight, bantamweight. I mean, it's been an interesting kind of year or so. So how did that factor into your preparation, taking fights, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I try not to think about it too much. Obviously I'm a flyweight, but I can fight at bantamweight wherever the opportunity presents itself. And I'm willing to do what needs to be done. I want to continue to fight at flyweight, but if I'm being offered fights at bantamweight, how long can I say no? And there's a lot of guys who didn't get that. They didn't get that opportunity. They just got cut. So I'm fortunate, and I know that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Winning solves everything. So this Saturday night's big, but I'm a part of this. I'm here.
So it's interesting. I wonder, did you kind of like try to add mass or anything? Because you said I'm a flyweight. So do you kind of leave yourself that if flyweight does stick around, you're always there to take fights?
Well, I think it would be a mistake to just try to add mass. If I'm going to grow into this weight class, it's going to be over the next 2 to 3 years that I'll grow into. And you'll see, I'll gradually grow. You'll see me get bigger if that's the case. But yeah, I'm a flyweight. I like the flyweight weight class. I would like to see it stick around, and I would like to be a part of bringing it back around. When they did The Ultimate Fighter and we were on this show, like I think all of us had the idea of, man, we're here to save this division. And I was one of those guys who was pushing that narrative, and I still feel that I can be a guy that saves this division. So we're going to go out there and get it done this Saturday night. I'm going to fight my heart out like I always do, and we'll pick up the pieces and see where they lie from there.
Fair enough. Talk about the matchup with Louis Smolka. I mean, a guy that was out of the UFC for a while, stayed really, really busy, earned his way back, has a pretty cool personal story of how he got back. What do you think about the matchup when it was offered to you?
Nothing but respect for this guy, and I've always watched him, and I've always we actually walked past each other in the airport one time. I don't know if he knows this. We walked past each other in the airport, and I got the strangest feeling. I was like, I'm going to fight that guy one day. And I don't get that feeling often. I think a lot of people like see flyweights like, I'm going to fight that guy. But I just knew it was gonna come together one day. And I got a lot of respect for the guy. He's a pioneer of the flyweight division, was a perennial top 10 for years and years, and he took a fall from grace. And I as a guy who's also kind of taken a tumble, I can appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to the matchup. I know that he is rejuvenated, reinvigorated, and I'm right here, still the same guy I've always been, so I think it'll be a fun one.
How are you looking at this fight? Because I wonder if it feels almost like a new chapter almost. I mean, you've got a winning streak, so it's not like you feel like you need to start over. But
it always feels like I'm starting over. It always feels like I'm starting over. And I always feel like my back's against the wall, and rightfully so, because you know, I didn't do what I needed to do early on in my UFC career, and at fault of, you know, my own self. So yeah, back's against the wall. It's always a new beginning. Winning solves everything.
Yes, it does. Well, you said you knew this fight was coming since you saw him in the airport. Give me an idea, when you play this one out in your head, I mean, are we going to see a back-and-forth battle? Are we going to see you go out there and make an early statement? What do you see?
I think we're very evenly matched. You know, I think build, skill set, I'm probably a little more poppier of an athlete. I think I've got a little more twitch to my game. But he's tough, he's durable, he's relentless, and so am I.